Thank you for holding it up there in studio. Perhaps the best news that has come out of the Wanguru Stadium today is that there is no more curfew. And NTV has a beautiful tag there that was the first to break the news. But remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta has also gone ahead to say that we are not out of the woods yet. You have to be very vigilant in everything that you do. Do not remove your mask. Do not go saying hi to people. Do not go overindulging, because I do know some people have even been trying to text me saying that leo itakuaje, but today I'm going home. We are not drinking, and we want to make sure that we continue making that all-important decision of staying away from this disease that has actually claimed so many people. And I'm here with Dan. How do you take over that news that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to say today?
Well, the first reaction, as you can see, the Firirinda is happening across this place. And even before he actually said what exactly he was going to say, when he just mentioned curfew before it was even clear whether it's been lifted or adjusted, there were screams across the stadium. So that gives you a sense of what the feeling has been here. The other thing is we wait to see the Gazette notice that is going to have the details, because he has not then mentioned issues to do with opening and closing of restaurants, bars, etc. Because the assumption here is that once a curfew is open, has been vacated, that then you can have, you know, the bars and the restaurants opening as they used to. But that was not specifically mentioned.
We will wait for the ministry to go ahead and probably even say whether they are going to bars will continue operating.
Yes, so that is what is going to be entailed in the Gazette notice, because like they say, Gazette ndio kusema yote. So what the president has said here is meant to be backed by a Gazette notice which will have the specific details. But as far as we know from what he has said is that the curfew has been vacated. Over a year later, there's no more curfew, which is one of the things that many have been calling for. Be it businesses that operate, which benefit from operating late into the night or very early in the morning or through the night. That's a benefit for them. Just last night we had a story from the Association of Pubs, Restaurants and Hoteliers who are saying that they want that. We had the presidential aspirant Musalia Mudavadi as well saying that. We've had a number of leaders and Wananchi as well saying that. The men who are saying that they only wanted one message from Uhuru Kenyatta today. And it seems he knew that was a showstopper, and that's what he ended with, because he had a whole bunch of goodies that he mentioned in regards to the recovery of the economy, the further recovery of the economy, and he ended with the lifting of the curfew. So that is a highlight, because it's not just about freedom, it's about livelihoods. And there has been criticism of the politicians as who you've been following for a while in regards to many people are unable to operate and push their own livelihoods and lifestyles through the night, but the politicians are doing it during the day by virtue of having the rallies and the likes, which we are likely to see again this afternoon, Ken. So it's something that is very welcome to many, but I believe even like the experts have been saying, even if this is lifted, it should not be lost from us that we are still in a pandemic.
And it's not actually what you're saying. It's not an open check for you to do what you actually need to do. But also remember that in the 1 hour, 2 minute speech that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to bring out, he's been very categorical about some of the things that his government has said. I've actually even seen in some WhatsApp groups people saying that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been very generous in his address to the nation. Remember, in his speech, he has been able to list about 14 interventions that he would want to see, and most of them are very heavy on business. Remember, he's even talking about the listing on the CRB. This has been a very serious issue when it comes to the youth. The youth have been saying that we are listed on the CRB and there is nothing that we could be able to do. So in this listing of the CRB and with regards to loans that are 5 million and below, President Uhuru Kenyatta is saying that these things should actually go ahead and be reviewed. And this is a very welcome matter, because the youth have been trying to do business in this country and they have not been doing so because of this listing of the CRB. Remember also there is the question of health and what the country or his administration, coupled with those administrations of the county government, have been able to do. So some of these are welcome, but you understand business better.
Yes, and there's a lot to do with business that we could see the young people here were very excited about being on TV. And when it comes to business, there's a lot. When it comes to the aspects of enabling the business community to grow, not only by extending the hours they can operate, but also infusing money into their operations. The CRB dynamic, some of the players at times raise a concern of how do you then separate those who are genuinely struggling by virtue of the pandemic, and those who are just misbehaving and just being, playing truant with paying back their money. So there's a lot to be looked into this, and just to make sure that nobody abuses this. But in overall, it's good to mention that the president seems to have somehow stolen the show. Initially, in terms of the applause, you could see the deputy president had stolen the show in terms of just the applause from the audience here, at least. But the president, with his pronouncements, has carried the day, if I may put it that way. But we wait to see what even other analysts who have been following this keenly and are going to comb through the same are going to say. And there has been a lot that has been covered, and I want to bring in Lofty Matambo, my colleague, who is going to take us through some of what else has happened, some of what has been said, and give us possibly the voices of some of the Wananchi here on this day when the Mashujaas are being celebrated. Lofty and Emmanuel Oletenges, or rather Melita Oletenges, I have just rebranded him, but Melita Oletenges to come and join us and just tell us what else they can pick from their end.
And also, as Lofty comes in, remember that Deputy President William Ruto and his political arch rival Raila Odinga took the opportunity to appeal to the people of the mountain, and in trying to do so, both of them were trying to outdo each other with regards to who has been able to be welcomed or who has been able to do something more for the people of the mountain. But I'll leave it to you to carry on with that conversation. But for me and Dan,
we are done.